Hello everyone. Argentina is a country in the southern half of South America with an area of 2,780,400 square kilometers and population is about 45,400,000 people. In 1895, Argentina rose to become one of the richest countries in the world with an average GDP of about $5,786. Following, it was the United States, Belgium, Australia, the United Kingdom, and New Zealand respectively. In the next decades, this country was always in the top 5 countries with the highest GDP per capita. So what makes them so rich? Briefly, it includes 3 main reasons. Firstly, stable politics help people feel secure to work. The state allowed them self-employment. Government didn't intervene in the private economy. Secondly, Argentina had a large and fertile cultivated area of about 300,000 square kilometers in the 20th century. With that advantage, along with the modernized livestock and farming industry, which helped to create a large output. At the same time, the invention of the river ship helped the meat export industry thrive strongly. Beef, wood, and cereals were Argentina's main exports in the late 19th century. Thanks to the profits from agriculture, investors and consultants came to Argentina, especially the UK and France. They supported stronger agriculture and built the country's infrastructure and railway network. In addition, the Argentine government also allowed free immigration to attract people from the more civilized country to areas with a low population of Aborigine people. Argentina's population was doubled between 1895 to 1914 from 4 million to 8 million. That had about 2 million of which came from immigrants. And one more reason was that the war situation in Europe made goods scarce, which created an opportunity for Argentina to dominate the market. All those things helped Argentina become the wealthiest country. In the early years of the 20th century, many people in the Middle East and Europe immigrated because of war, starvation, or wanting opportunities in the better land. Most of them were confused about whether to choose New York or Buenos Aires. Finally, they chose which train was the most convenient to depart, because both were worthy the promised land. However, everything had an end. Until 1929, the world experienced an economic crisis. Both the rich and the poor were damaged, and Argentina was no exception. Many families stayed up all night without sleep. The main exported good was beef, which was sold less because people had to cut the need to eat fish or eat water spinach. In addition, the main meat imported country was the UK, which didn't want to eat Argentina meat anymore because the Commonwealth of Nations was able to produce enough of its needs. So, an agreement was signed. Argentina would reduce taxes on 350 items that the UK exports to them, including free tax for the main item was coal. They also didn't increase the tariffs on all UK goods. In addition, UK-built railways in Argentina would also receive reduced fees, but the UK pledged to import about 390,000 tons of beef each year. It was an unequal agreement, but the Argentina government still signed it. Consequence was domestic instability, leading to a coup over a decade. In 1946, Juan Perón was elected president. He advocated eliminating UK influence on the Argentine economy. He also industrialized the country and reduced inequality. The result was that the economy boomed for 5 consecutive years and then fell into crisis. The reason was he carried out nationalization of everything that belongs to the foreigners, which made investors afraid to run away. In addition, the government also interfered too much in the economy. The freedom of the business was no longer available. From an open economy, Argentina was almost closed to the outside world. In 1955, he was overthrown by a coup. New government took over, but nothing has changed. It's just a dictatorship modeled on fascism. They spent a lot of money on military. The purpose was to keep the power chair in the government. As a result, inflation increased, the currency depreciated, and the economy plunged. Although democracy was restored in 1983, but since then, no president has been talented enough to help Argentina to the top again. Let's see Argentina's average over the last few years. In 2019, Argentina's average GDP was $10,000, ranking 69th in the world, near equal to China. This was the number in the middle compared with the world. However, the inflation reached 53.5% and the economic growth rate was minus 2.5%. Moreover, the country owed about $323 billion and was unable to pay. So, GDP was meaningless. In 2020, the poverty rate by Argentine standards was 40.8%. Therefore, Argentina was no longer one of the richest countries in the world. The video ends here and see ya in next video. Thank you for watching.